This is TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and I want to let you know that the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscape. Over 2 million men worldwide have joined the movement for all their below-the-waist needs. Engineers for the last 18 months have perfected the greatest hair trimmer ever created, the Lawnmower 3.0. The third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. You can choose the Lawnmower 3.0 as well as other items by going to manscaped.com, and you can also save 20% by using the promo code STATEOFSAINTS. That's manscaped.com. Use the promo code STATEOFSAINTS and save 20% on the Lawnmower 3.0 as well as other Manscaped items. That's manscaped.com.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And I hope everyone's having a great day. Hope that you're enjoying your day. It's a beautiful day here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, man. I got to say, man, what a beautiful day. It's about 75 degrees outside. Man, this is one of those days where you want to go post up at the beach. But thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. And I'm at the radio station here today, and I'm celebrating my 4th year here, man. Today commemorates the 4th year I've been with 90.9 FM, and I'm extremely excited about that, man. So not only do I give you all the commentary when it comes to the Saints, I'm giving, people information and talking to individuals and interviewing individuals all across the country and around the state of South Carolina, man. So it's pretty dope, man. I'm living a dream right now. Ever since I was a kid, probably around 7 years old, listening to Jim Henderson on WWL, I always wanted to be in broadcasting, man. So I'm living a dream, man. I'm doing what I love to do. So, but let's go ahead and talk about the New Orleans Saints. Let's talk about, what's going on. I know a couple of Saints fans on suicide watch right now. I'm making phone calls. I'm sending emails. I'm trying to talk a lot of Saints fans off the ledge here because everybody's looking at some of these moves that the New Orleans Saints are making, and they're a little bit frustrated and scared and confused. And, I completely understand that, man. I understand that there are a lot of people who are very, very nervous the way that the Saints are going about their business right now, because not only are they releasing, bottom tier guys, they're also releasing some of the guys that are making this team successful over the past few years. And, Who Dat Nation, I want people to understand something, and I know we don't want to admit this, and they say not to admit it, but we're going to have to come to grips with it. The New Orleans Saints are rebuilding right now. They are rebuilding. They're changing this team around. They're trying to make moves in order for them to be competitive. And, this is a part of the business, and this is a part of the NFL that we just do not like. We don't like it. We don't like when familiar faces leave. We don't like when we have to go and we have to, draft guys, we're not too sure about those guys, or go into free agency and get guys we probably never even really heard of, or guys that probably, that haven't made a lot of noise with their respective teams, but that's just the way that it goes sometimes. When teams are successful, when you're hitting it out the park every single year, when you're batting, when you're batting them and hitting them out of the park when it comes to the draft, it comes to this point where guys start to want to leave or they have to get big contracts, and it's just the nature of the beast. That's why it's very, very important for the Saints to win. And over the past 4 years, the Saints have been put in position to win, and they haven't been able to do it. And now we're faced with this situation. The Saints released Emmanuel Sanders. They released Quan Alexander, and now they released Janoris Jenkins, somebody that, to me, this probably was one of the biggest blows. This was a bigger blow than Emmanuel Sanders and even Quan Alexander, because Janoris Jenkins was something that the Saints have been missing for quite some time. That number 2 complimentary cornerback to Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore, you can say that he was a tad bit inconsistent at times. He gets lost in the light from time to time, but more times than not, he gives you up to standard and substandard cornerback play. But it was always the opposite side. Rather it was P.J. Williams getting smoked like brisket or burnt like a biscuit. Rather it was Eli Apple out there, getting posterized. Or rather it was, somebody else that they put out there getting beat to sleep. You can always know that Marshawn Lattimore was doing his job for the most part, but we always were missing somebody. And then Janoris Jenkins was having issues with the Giants, and the Saints were lucky enough to get him. And, he didn't do anything, within the Saints organization except, give you consistency. I can remember in that wild card game versus the Vikings, he had Stephon Diggs so frustrated he had him slamming his helmet on the sidelines in frustration. Janoris Jenkins probably should have had about 9-10 interceptions last season, because it seemed like every game he had his hands on a football. And this is unfortunate, man, but I believe in the Saints organization. I believe in this organization. I feel like this organization has put these guys together in order for them to be a good football team. And I think that's something that we as Saints fans, we as sports fans, we tend to forget, because we see these guys leave, but we're not looking at the fact that why are we having an appreciation for these guys is because of the coaching staff. The coaching staff have put these guys in positions to succeed in order for us to miss them when they're gone, in order for us to celebrate them when they are here. So I trust the Saints coaching staff, and I think you should too. I still see Jeff Ireland in the building, a guy that has been doing a really good job with the scout team, going out there and going to these different colleges and looking at some of these free agents and some guys that will probably be undrafted rookies and bringing them into the organization for them to be contributors. Also in the middle of the season, keeping an eye on some of these other teams, and, maybe they have some issues. Maybe some trades need to be taking place, in the Saints, they do just that. They make those trades. They try to roll the dice with Eli Apple. They tried to roll the dice with Janoris Jenkins. They rolled the dice with Quan Alexander. So they are very, very aggressive. And I just look at this football team. A lot of these guys we didn't know. I mean, we knew Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, he was one of the top corners coming out in 2017. But we didn't know how good Michael Thomas was going to be. We didn't know how good Alvin Kamara was going to be. We didn't know how good Trey Hendrickson was going to be. We didn't know how good Marcus Williams was going to be, unless we're really involved in college football. And some of us, that follow the Saints, we mostly follow SEC, ACC, maybe even a little Big 12 football. So these guys have done an outstanding job over the years getting quality talent on this team. And I still believe that they can do the same thing. They can still replicate what they did in 2017. But who that nation, that's just the nature of the beast. All this production and all this good play that we're seeing, guys want to get paid when push comes to shove. These guys have played on these rookie deals. They have went out there, man, and put it all on the line and put their best foot forward and their best product on the field in order for them to be in this position. And that is what it's all about. It's about these guys getting paid. And I'm not mad at that, man. It's just like if you're at your job, right? You want top dollar for your work. I know everybody out there. You know, I seen Chanel up in there. You know, Chanel is a PA. You know what I'm saying? She does a top-notch job. You know what I'm saying? Got plenty of individuals out there right now that's working at 9 to 5 and probably been at their job for, longer than I've been at the radio station. Some people have been there 10, 15 years. You want to get paid what you feel like is necessary. You put the work in, you want that Skrilla, right? So I don't have no problem with that. I believe in this football team, and I'm embracing the rebuild. You know, I'm embracing it. I'm embracing the rebuild, folks. You know, I am a Saints fan. You know, I am a Saints fan. I trust this organization. I trust this team, and I'm embracing it. You know, we've come so accustomed to certain things in a Who Dat Nation. Consistent quarterback play. Now Drew Brees is most likely about to retire, so we're nervous about that. We've seen guys come in and be productive, and now some of those guys are leaving, and we're starting to get nervous. But look, all things must come to an end. And it's just what it is, man. You know, you have to be able to turn the page, and you have to embrace that. You got to embrace the new. You got to embrace the rebuild. If you don't, you're going to lose your mind in the process. And I know we don't like change. I mean, a lot of us, we're like that old man, you know, that's still mad that he has to pop in a DVD because they don't make VHS anymore, you know, or getting upset now that he has to stream his movies just when he figured out how to use the DVD player. I mean, things change. It's time to move on. It's time to embrace the change. It's time to embrace the new. Whoever the quarterback is, rally behind him. You know, hopefully they can put him in a position to help them win games. You know, get another wide receiver up in here, you know, that can complement Michael Thomas, that probably don't cost you that much. Respect the fact that Marquez Callaway can step up. Traquan Smith can step up. Y'all seen what Deontay Harris can do when he's healthy. You seen what Adam Troutman was doing later on in the season as he developed as a tight end. And we seen Carl Granderson show splashes. So who's to say that Carl Granderson can't do some of the things that Trey Hendrickson did? Anytime I seen Carl Granderson in the game, he was stepping up doing real big things. You know, I've seen him force a fumble from Tom Brady. I've seen him sack Patrick Mahomes. Anytime his number was called, he always seems like he'd get there. So I trust the process, and I think you should too. And it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be uncertain. But the Saints haven't played a down yet. And all of us, and I don't want to say all of us, but some of us are ready to jump off the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Stay up here a little longer. You don't know how things are going to turn out. You know, like let's embrace this and understand that things are going to change. Rather, it would have been it's inevitable. It would have been this year or next year, but eventually we would have been faced with this point. We knew that Drew Brees couldn't play forever. We knew that these guys were on the team, most likely weren't going to be there. We knew the 2017 class, as good as those guys been, it was time for them to get paid. So embrace it. That's my best advice for each and every one of you that are listening right now. The Dykes, thank you very much for $2, says they rolled me. They rolled and they crapped out, for 4 years. 4 rolls, all craps. Becky says, thank you for telling me. Not Clamps 2.0. Yeah, he gone. Chemo says, who that family? Chemo also says, we will be fine. All these moves were expected. Pretty much. I had a bet on AK, but the rest, you right. Donald says, TJ, the good thing is you got good coach and Chris Richard, who got great relationship in the NFL. So we shall see what happens. Yeah, pretty much. You got Nolan up in here. What's going on, Nolan, man? I went to high school with Nolan, man. Shouts out to you, man. Thanks for being a part of the show. Idris says, Chemo says Idris, giving a shout out to Idris. Larry says, we will not get rid of AK. Oh, absolutely not. No way. Now that I know for a fact that ain't gonna happen. Let's go get Patrick Peterson for the right price. For the right price. And Patrick Peterson is at a stage of his career where he's on the threshold of a Hall of Fame career, and the thing that will definitely get him over the hump is a Super Bowl. And unlike last year, You know, the New Orleans Saints aren't a Super Bowl, a definite Super Bowl favorite in this thing. So I mean, so he might want to look look in the other direction this year. It's time to just blow it up and start rebuilding. I feel like our window and even extended window has closed. I feel we really needed Jenkins and Sanders and Quine. This feels like a rebuild. Well, it definitely is a rebuild. Like just because they didn't say it, I mean, it was going to happen. Anything without Drew Brees in it is a rebuild. I want to make that perfectly clear. Anything without Drew Brees is a rebuild. That is your corner. That's your cornerstone. Drew Brees is the cornerstone. Okay. Once he leaves, it is a rebuild. I don't care what they had on this team. Drew Brees is the standard. So anybody that thought, oh, Drew Brees retired, it was a rebuild, bruh. Because I don't care who the quarterback is, they're not going to give you that type of production Drew Brees is giving you. They ain't going to give you that type of greatness. It's going to get built. They're going to have to build to give you that type of greatness. Unless you're getting like somebody that's just great already. And there's very few players, very few quarterbacks in this league that are great. So it's a rebuild regardless if number 9 is not with your team, because he is the guy. He is the standard. So definitely a rebuild. But, I've seen the Saints win without these guys. I mean, that's what we tend to forget. And that's what I don't understand. Like, we're talking about Quine Alexander. We're talking about Emmanuel Sanders. And we're talking about Janoris Jenkins. And all three of those guys, we've seen the Saints go to the NFC Championship with. We've seen the Saints go to the divisional round of the playoffs without either one of those guys on the team. We've seen this before. So we know that the Saints can win without these guys. 2017, I didn't see Emmanuel Sanders, Janoris Jenkins, or Quine Alexander on his team. 2018, I didn't see Emmanuel Sanders, Quine Alexander, or Janoris Jenkins on his team. 2019, the only person I seen was Janoris Jenkins on his team. And now all of a sudden, we got these 3 players, and all of a sudden, we can't win no more. I just don't understand it. And not even with Sheldon Rankins. I mean, God bless him. I like him a lot, but Sheldon Rankins has been hurt throughout his career. So it's not like we don't know what Shai Tuttle can do, or we don't know what Malcolm Roach can do, or we don't know what David Onyemata is going to do. We know Malcolm Brown is going to be here. He extended his contract and restructured that. So I don't understand what everybody's so concerned about. I really don't. All of these guys that we're talking about here and we're whining and boo-hooing and crying over weren't even on this team. They weren't even on this team for the exception of Josh Hill. Everybody else has come along throughout the years. And all of those guys we've seen the Saints generate success without. So what makes you think that the Saints can't replicate the same type of success by these guys no longer being here? Any scenario that we're talking about here, we have seen the Saints generate success without any of these guys. I mean, look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tripping. Oh, this was what I mean. They were a missing piece. I fail to believe that. I fail to believe that. If you're going to the divisional round, the NFC Championship game, there's not many things wrong with your football team. If you're doing stuff like that, if you're consistently going to the playoffs, deep into the playoffs more times than not, there's not much wrong with your team. It's like if your team go to the Super Bowl and lose, there's nothing really wrong with your team. There's only, in the Super Bowl, there can be only one winner and one loser, period. So I don't get it. I don't get why the sky's falling. I don't see why everybody being Chicken Little right now. I really don't. Ghostface Griller, thank you very much for the $20, man. Thank you so much. Say ride till I die with this team. Yeah, absolutely. That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. And also for those that are watching on Facebook Live right now, I think I'm a part of some new program called the Stars program. So you can actually donate to the State of the Saints podcast by clicking the stars on the bottom of your of the comments. I think, I don't know exactly too much about that, but I know a lot of people, they inbox me and ask me how can they donate by Facebook Live because they watch on Facebook. or you can donate by using the stars program. So just want to let everybody know that, if you want to donate to the State of the Saints. Don't know that much about it. They just sent me an email, said people can donate through stars. I guess apparently each number of stars represent a certain amount of money or something, and you can donate that way. So feel free to do so if you want to. If not, still comment. Y'all know how we do it here. Brian says, we will see. The real fans now hop off fake fans. Well, we'll see. Division titles are overrated, man. I agree with that. I don't want to say they're overrated. They just seem overrated when the team that was in your division wins the Super Bowl and you won the division. But it's very rare that a team that doesn't win the division goes to the Super Bowl and win it. That's super rare. Saints got 4 division titles and have resulted in no rings. Yeah. 2018 was taken away from us, period. Not worried about Brady. My defense is the key. I've been watching since when you first started. You came a long way. I'm glad you're trending forward. I never can catch the live show, but I love what you're doing. Keep striving, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long ride, man. We're going into year 4. Wow. Year 4 of the State of the Saints podcast, 4 seasons doing this, man. 4 seasons of doing this, man. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Talking to that dude saying it's the Bucks division now, they got to win the division first. I don't get it. I don't think it's their division. I get a lot of Philadelphia Eagles vibes from them 2017 Eagles. We are going to be fine regardless of the people we're losing. A lot of teams are going to lose good players. Yeah, I mean, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They had to get rid of 2 of their best offensive linemen, Eric Fisher and Michael Schwartz. So I mean, that's 2 members of their offensive line right there. Those are 2 guys that got to protect Patrick Mahomes. So a lot of these teams are feeling this cap hit, and it has a lot to do with COVID. Normally the cap number goes up, and teams are able to work around it. If the cap was different, like if it was just like a normal year, most likely Janoris Jenkins will still be on the Saints team because they would be able to afford him. But due to COVID, due to not having people in the stands and losing money, they had to set the cap at a certain amount. So it wasn't as much as teams anticipated. So that was what you call a cap casualty. We'll get some great draft picks in April. Yeah, I trust them, man. They've been doing pretty good with the draft. Jared says, preach TJ. I mean, some people just be grandstanding. Some Saints fans just be grandstanding. That's all that is. And I said this before, like most Saints fans, like that's in around age 20 to 25 years old, like they don't remember the Saints when they weren't very good. The only Saints they can remember like vividly is Drew Brees. So if Drew Brees not there, of course they're gonna feel like the sky falling. But we seen this team before. We know that success can be generated. I mean, it'll be one thing. I feel like every Saints fan should be pretty optimistic. It'll be one thing if Drew Brees was the Iron Man that he was throughout the years. I've said this before. It'd be one thing if Drew Brees was the Iron Man that we've seen throughout the years. But for the last 2 years, we've seen the New Orleans Saints play without Drew Brees for 9 games. And they played pretty doggone good. The defense was good. The offense was good. The quarterback that was in the game for the most part, they did the right things. So, I mean, they only lost 1 game. If you want to count the game when McCown played a couple of years ago, 2. So the Saints are 8-2 without Drew Brees. Sound pretty good to me. Over 15 years of quarterback play, the Saints. That's pretty incredible, man. That's pretty incredible. I'm riding with the team. Forget what the Bucks fans say. We always find a way to win. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think a lot of these fans in NFC South was waiting for this day. You know, they think that, oh, they got it under wraps. They think they got it under control. But it's funny to me how you got two teams that's about to be spinoffs of the New Orleans Saints. And you got one team that had to go out there and basically go to Rent-A-Center and rent a whole bunch of players in order for them to even be relevant in a conversation. They had to get the all-time greatest quarterback that ever played in the NFL in order to be their quarterback for them to be relevant, you know. And it's not like he got this success from them or something like this. Guy played 20 years with a different team. And now they all of a sudden, you know, they won a Super Bowl. Congratulations to them. But, I mean, nobody, like I said, nobody saw these guys coming. I've said this on several occasions. Nobody seen these guys coming. Nobody took them serious. Everybody considered them as an underdog. Let's see what's going to happen when everybody is gunning for them, and they're going to get everybody's best shot, from the worst team in the league to the best team in the league. If they can run the table and win a Super Bowl doing that, then they'll get my respect. But I don't think they can do it. And as far as the Carolina Panthers are concerned, all they are is New Orleans Saints light. And the Atlanta Falcons, all they did was try to take everything the Saints have when it comes to the front office. So now you got two teams that's a Saints spinoff and one team that went to Rent-A-Center. So all I got to say is I don't care what they're talking about. The Saints got the best coaching staff to me in the NFC South. I mean, I understand that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a Super Bowl. The Saints still beat them twice in the regular season. They beat the Saints when it mattered most. But still, 2 games are better than 1. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't really prove much to me. You know what I'm saying? That game could have easily been week 9, and Tampa could have won. And the Saints could have just flipped that with them in the divisional round. That didn't prove anything to me. That don't prove that Tampa is better than the Saints. You know, like, you know, it's almost like, you know, back in the days, it's like, I don't know, let's just say Winston-Salem or something like that played against Duke. And Duke was just missing a whole bunch of threes one night, and then Winston-Salem, you know, luck up and beat Duke. Does that mean that Winston-Salem is better than Duke? No. You know, so that didn't prove nothing to me. I really hope that they get Quan Alexander back. Him and Davis, double trouble. Roger, thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate that. 2 Saints spinoffs and 1 that went to Rent-A-Center. Yeah, basically, man, like all they did was go out there and get every single all-pro, you know, a person that used to be all-pro on their team. They stacked the deck. Congratulations to them. But like I said, 2 games are still better than 1. And I give them credit. They beat the Saints when it mattered most. You know what I'm saying, in the playoffs. But like I said, that could have easily been week 1. That could have easily been week 9. But it just the Saints have lost a lot of starting quality players. They're going to hurt Sanders, Quine, possibly Rankins, Hendrickson, Malcolm Brown, Jackrabbit, Axeloni, which won't hurt much if he's going. The fact is that the cap situation has hurt us, and we want to act like it's not. How? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know it hurt us? Like, seriously, how do you know it hurt us? Like, is a game tomorrow? Did the Saints lose a game last week? No, you don't know if it's going to hurt us. You don't know who or what these guys are going to be replaced with. You don't know. So how can you sit up here and say that, oh, it's going to hurt us? What? You know, like, you don't know. Like, wait till the season starts. You don't know. The Saints might go out here and bat it and hit it out the park in the draft. Go out here in free agency and pick up some guys that can, you know what I'm saying, pick up the slack. You don't know. And that's the type of mind frame, you know what I'm saying, Hakeem, you know what I'm saying, shouts out to you. Thank you for the comment. But that's the type of mind frame that, you know what I'm saying, that destroy a lot of people's confidence and a lot of people's dreams out here. When you feel like you're back against the wall already, you feel defeated already. You know what I'm saying? If you go out there, you know what I'm saying, you play basketball, right? Let's say you're on the court and y'all know it's like you and you got a couple more young homeboys and maybe y'all like around 5'11", 5'8", 5'7", you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Then all of a sudden y'all walk on the court, y'all seeing dudes over about 6'1", 6'2", and they out there saying, well, I won't play against y'all. Who's to say that those 6'2" dudes can actually play ball? But y'all probably looking, man, them dudes tall. They tall. You don't know if y'all about to do work on them boys. You don't know if you about to shoot a 3 in his face. You don't know if the dude being right under the rim, he gonna throw it and it gonna go in the street. You don't know. We don't know what is going to happen. You can't just assume the worst. Oh, Quan gone. Oh, Manuel Sanders gone. Like, you don't know. You don't know. This coaching staff has put these guys on this team. They put these guys on this team. They have put these guys in positions to be successful on this team. This team can be good in spite, you know what I'm saying, in spite the fact that these guys are no longer on the team. I don't care what anybody says. A game has not been played yet in 2021. And yet we still have people out here that are acting as if, oh, you know what I'm saying, like they just seen a whole, you know what I'm saying, 17-game season just go up in smoke. You don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, man, you can't have that defeated attitude. You can't. You know, I mean, you got to see some games first. You know, like, did we think that the Saints were going to win 5 straight games when Teddy Bridgewater was the quarterback? Go ahead and tell me yeah. Because even I didn't believe that. Did we think that we was going to win 3 out of the 4 games when Taysom Hill was the quarterback? No, because most of us were mad that Jameis Winston wasn't playing. But look what happened. Trust the process. Trust the coaching. Why are we, you know what I'm saying, why are we sitting up here expecting the worst? Already and threw dirt on the team. Jeez. You know, stop throwing dirt on the squad, man. Like, at least see some games first. At least see, you know what I'm saying? At least see them boys, like, you know what I'm saying, be a train wreck. And if you want to make the assumption, then cool. But man, I cannot make assumptions. I cannot make assumptions based on guys just leaving, because I've seen this before. I've seen teams lose guys and still end up being pretty formidable. You know, like you think about teams in the past. I can think about at least about 3-4 teams off the top of my head. You know what I'm saying, that end up losing players, end up replacing them and still be formidable. We cannot expect that. I mean, we can't just assume the worst. These nuts say it's time for a new intro, TJ. Most of them guys gone. I'm not changing the intro to the beginning of the season because that would be absolutely pointless. I mean, it would be pointless, right? Because first off, most of those guys are gone, but we don't know who they're going to be replaced with. We don't know if Drew Brees is going to come back. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know who they're going to get in free agency. So it's pointless right now. I'm not going to change the intro until the season starts. So that's just what it's going to be or, you know what I'm saying, I can just start the show without the intro. But I'm not changing the intro until the season starts, because I'll be around that thing copying and pasting and stuff like that. So, nah, we're going to wait. What do you see the Saints getting in free agency? I can see the Saints getting Golden Tate. I can see the Saints going after Golden Tate. I can see the New Orleans Saints getting Kyle Rudolph. I can see the Saints getting somebody like, I don't know, Brian Kerrigan. I can see the New Orleans Saints, you know, getting somebody like Nassib, you know what I'm saying, who was playing out there for the Raiders. I can see a lot of scenarios. I can see the Saints, you know, possibly cutting a deal, getting somebody like Malcolm Butler, you know what I'm saying, that can come in for right now, drafting, you know what I'm saying, and they can draft a cornerback. And also, man, like, I like to see what Keith Washington can do. You know what I'm saying? The rookie that was out of West Virginia, you know what I'm saying? They say he was playing pretty good. So they gave him like a little red shirt year. They had him on the sideline. So who knows, you know, what he can do. He might be a guy that can make a jump, that can possibly get some playing time. So it's a lot of things the Saints can do, man. I mean, it ain't over, you know? Isn't Golden Tate 40? Nah, Golden Tate is around the same age Emmanuel Sanders is. You know, the same Emmanuel Sanders everybody crying about. Yeah. Real Talk Perez says, wait, did the Saints draft Jared Cook, Quan, Jenkins, Breeze, DeMario? Don't talk about Renter Center. Y'all just mad because y'all don't rent the right pieces. No, you know what I'm saying? No, they didn't. But in a process, those guys were actually selected throughout the years. They didn't do it all at one time, Real Talk Perez. So I'm definitely not mad at all, though. Not mad at all. You all, on the other hand, y'all went out there and y'all actually went to Rent a Center. Y'all got the couch, the TV, the nightstands, the lamps, you know what I'm saying, the surround sound TV. So y'all can go ahead and act like y'all, you know what I'm saying, when your family members come over, y'all won't flex like y'all done made it. That's exactly what y'all did, man. And you know what I'm saying? It worked for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all finessed the family. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got them thinking that y'all on. But let's see if y'all can do it again, man. You know what I'm saying? The family members knocking on the door right now, and you done turned all the furniture. So let's see what y'all can do now. Because everybody knows what y'all are right now. Y'all the Super Bowl champs. Y'all got the target on your back. And like you talked about, Jared Cook, that was one free agency. Quan Alexander, that was, you know what I'm saying, that was in the middle of the season. All these guys didn't come in, you know what I'm saying, at one time, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and basically just became one cohesive unit like y'all did. You know what I'm saying? This ain't what the Anthony Davis with the Lakers and stuff like that, how they just got him and, you know what I'm saying, Dwight Howard and all them other cats. So that's what y'all did, all right? Like I said, y'all got the whole furniture set. Y'all got the living room set special, you know what I'm saying, from Rent a Center. You know, so let's see what y'all can do, man. Like I said, the in-laws knocking on the door because they forgot their stuff and the furniture gone. All right. So let's see how y'all can finesse y'all way out of this. Because y'all looking very Philadelphia Eagle-ish to me. How about Jonnu Smith? Jonnu Smith will be a good pick. Only thing about Jonnu, man, I think he might be a little bit too rich for the Saints blood, man. That dude pretty good, and he young. J.C. Horn is a good corner. Everybody mentioning J.C. Horn. He a good corner, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that his daddy played for the team. You got a lot of other good corners out there. You know, I mean, this guy's like a top corner. Who's to say that he won't be like the top corner to leave off the board? Who say that he might even be there at 28? Key Washington, also another good corner. Yeah, there's a guy that flew under the radar, and we're not talking about him because he didn't play at all. You know, out of sight, out of mind. The Saints kind of put him on the sidelines, gave him a little bit of a red shirt. Yeah, let's see what he can do. A dome is not a home without me. Y'all remember that. Key Washington, thank you very much. TJ, whatever happened to Saquon Hampton? Yeah, he got cut. I want to say he was on. I don't know if he played for the Chiefs or who. I think he got picked up by somebody. I can't remember. So because we paid everything up front and y'all needed a layaway plan, that's supposed to be bad. Nah, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's bad or good. All I'm saying is y'all got this whole team together. Y'all rented this whole entire team. It's not like y'all built this squad. It ain't like y'all built it from the ground up or something like that. You know, like y'all just got a whole bunch of guys on the team that like Tom Brady. Tom Brady basically was LeBron James. He was your LeBron James. Thank you very much for $5, Real Talk Perez. But it's like LeBron James, man. He put the bat signal in the sky and guys came running. And y'all, you know, I mean, look, y'all got the luck of the draw, man. Y'all like Bow Wow on lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the winning ticket. You know, when Tom Brady came here, success came with him because everybody wanted to be around him. I mean, I feel like this probably was inevitable. You know, whatever team he probably went to probably would have been in this same position. I mean, y'all had a lot of young talent on the team. I'm not going to just completely dismiss that. Defensively, y'all had a really young, vibrant, ready team. But it also was the fact that y'all were not very good over the years, and y'all had a lot of guys on rookie deals, and y'all really didn't. Y'all had a bunch of money to spend. So that was, you know what I'm saying, that was a plus. I mean, so, but it could have easily been anybody else, you know. It could have been the Saints, you know, like, you know, because, you know, Tom Brady, the Saints was his first choice. If Drew Brees would have retired, he would have came to the Saints. Could have been the Saints. So, and we all know if he didn't come to y'all, y'all wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. Let's see, corny analogy. It's only corny when somebody, probably because, most likely you're probably a fan of another team. But even if it is, who cares? You don't like the analogies, watch another show. Dada tell Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State. Yeah, he's pretty good. Haley is good as well. If Keith Washington is so good of a prospect, why we brought in that practice squad guy instead? Because Keith Washington was hurt, probably. You know what I'm saying? He was dealing with a hamstring injury. And like I said, man, I'm not saying that the guy, was where he need to be. Sometimes those guys need to be on a bench and learn how to become pros. Might become better. But he's a lengthy guy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they probably gonna put him on the field. I mean, I ain't seen him get cut yet. Usually they cut those guys like right after the season over. Who is the oldest player on the Saints taking up cap space? Probably Cam Jordan. Yeah, Cam Jordan probably the oldest. Greg Newsom. 2 chips in the South, y'all 15 years trash. It's like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were never bad or something. I don't get it. Like, how dare y'all come to the group and act as if y'all cold, like y'all been good this entire time? Like, how dare y'all? Like, seriously. Like, how dare y'all come to this group and pretend like this is what I don't like about this whole, like Jedi mind trick that sports media people give y'all. Like, they really have people believing that championships, just because you have more championships than another person, means that you're superior to them. You're not superior to the Saints. The Saints have swept y'all in the division 8 times in a row. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? The Saints have a better win-loss record than y'all. The Saints have won the division more times than y'all have. The Saints have been a better football team over the past 15 years than y'all have. Like, this is like, I said this before, this is equivalent of somebody telling me that Robert Horry is better than Michael Jordan because Robert Horry has 7 championships and Michael Jordan has 6. That doesn't make y'all superior. It doesn't make y'all a better football team. Just means that, you know what I'm saying, the luck of the draw, you know what I'm saying, pass y'all way one more time than the Saints. Don't mean that y'all better than the Saints. Don't mean that y'all more superior than the Saints. And I don't want to, and miss me with that stuff, because your fair weather is I don't know what. Because where were you when your team had Jameis Winston on it and you guys weren't very good? Now you want to sit up here and infiltrate NFC South Saints groups because y'all feel like y'all superior. You're not superior to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints still beat y'all twice. Y'all did beat the Saints when it counted. I give you that. But don't make it seem like, oh, y'all just dominated the South. Y'all didn't even win the division. Y'all didn't even win the division. So miss me with that nonsense. And if I didn't see your name in the group when y'all boys were down, don't let me see it in here, and don't be trying to sit up here and poke your chest out like you been know that y'all was certified like the 1st and the 15th checks. Don't make it seem like that, dude, because you're embarrassing yourself. I never seen your name come across this line until the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was successful. You know what that makes you? That makes you a grandstander. And you come into a New Orleans Saints group that's hosted by yours truly. You know what that makes me? A good content creator, because you're actually in another team's group, because you know that I'm certified like the 1st and the 15th. You guys won the Super Bowl, but don't make it seem like y'all boys just out here just wrecking shop. Y'all still got the worst overall record in professional sports history. And I don't care what the media tries to shove down the throats of the establishment. Championships does not make you superior in all cases. Y'all are not a better football team than New Orleans Saints overall, and the Saints have dominated y'all over the past 15 years. And just because y'all fell behind backwards into prosperity doesn't give y'all the right to sit up here and talk, especially when I did not see you last year. Where were you when Jameis was here, bro? I didn't see you. Where you was at? if I can go back and find your name in a comment, you know what I'm saying, sometime last year, don't try to hurry up and go post right now. If I see your name somewhere on the State of the Saints podcast, or when the Saints were playing Tampa or something like that, then I will apologize to you. Till then, you grandstanding. And for that, I have no respect for that. Real Talk Parade, that's my guy. Been on his show, talked to him several times. You know what I'm saying? So I got respect for that. But grandstanders, miss me with that. Next, I'm actually excited to see new faces to contribute to this team. It's tough to see old faces go, but it's part of the journey. It's not jump ship. This is a fake fan to me. I trust this organization. Blue Apples, thank you very much for the $10. We also have Ghostface Gorilla says, Antonio still eats in a high chair. Thank you very much for the $5. Tampa simply caught lightning in a bottle and now acting like world beaters. Exactly. All I'm saying is where you was at. Where, you know what I'm saying? Like, where you was at. You know, in the words of Future, where were you? I didn't see you. You know, where were you? And he said he mad. I'm definitely not mad. You ought to be mad. You ought to be mad. And you know, that's when you know a person gets shut down. They say stuff like, he mad, ha 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 ha. No, I'm not. You know, I'm definitely not mad because I know the truth. I know the truth. You know, I get mad, honestly. They probably get this dude the best 15 seconds of his life. Let's see. Bring me on sometime, bro. King Son Speaks podcast. All right, man. Just send me information and stuff like that. We can link up. I have no problem with that. Who else could we cut to save cap space? I don't know. They got to be creative. They probably be doing some restructuring now. New players are hungry. We need more youth talent on this team. I agree. I agree with that. Say, TJ, thanks so much for what you do. I appreciate that, guy. Thank you. I thank you for that. I thank the Buck fans too. Antonio, thank you for being here, man. I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate you being here. I'm all for the the rivalry and the banter and all that kind of stuff, but I think we need to put things into perspective. TJ, I'm a Buck fan, and I found your channel because I was looking for highlights to the game and found your channel. Loved it ever since. And I appreciate that, Don Poncho, and I've seen Don Poncho on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen guys like Buck Skull Game, Real Talk Perez, you know, like I said, Don Poncho. I've seen guys on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen guys who on here consistently, you know, they're Bucks fans. And I got respect for that, you know what I'm saying? But come on, man. I can't get down with the grandstanders, right? And the respect I got is because these guys were here at the beginning of the season. Buck Skull Game been here probably like a little bit before this season even started. A couple of you all I've seen before, even before the season started. So they've been here. But when I just see people just roll up, and I'm like, man, y'all suck. Like, come on, dude. Come on, man. Knock it off. Believe it or not, TJ, I'm kind of liking the new look now. We get to see what Sean Payton can do. And me personally, I think that Payton is that great. You know, Damian, sometimes you can get complacent. Now, y'all know how it is, like on a job. You have it for a long time. And some of these things I've said before. But you know how it is, man. Like, if you had a job 5+ years, 6+ years, it gets repetitive, right? And let's just say, for example, you get a new manager, you get a new position, you get a promoter or something like that, and your title change and your duties change. You start to get a little bright-eyed, get a little bushy-tailed, and it seems like, you get a little pepped up because you're ready to go to work and trying to take on a new responsibility. I feel like Sean Payton has been with the Saints organization for 15 years, and, it's probably cool to have a different quarterback that you can actually build and learn and develop, you know what I'm saying, and get him where he needs to be. So I think he's going to embrace that challenge. And Sean Payton is a good coach. I think sometimes we forget that. Buccaneers fans are the most fair weather fans, and they wasn't there when Winston was there. But when Brady was there, they all bandwagon. I mean, all I'm saying is I ain't seen this type of energy from a lot of the Buck fans. I'm just saying. Look, I'm not trying to poo-poo on nobody's championship. Like, I would trade places with y'all in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Do I wish that the Saints were in that position? Absolutely. But I still feel like they still have some mountains to climb here. There's still some unanswered questions. All right. They still need to prove something to me. That's all I'm saying. Tampa fans are weird, barely said a word until last season. Can't wait for them to get humbled like the Chiefs. Yes, yeah. Look, this is the thing. Like I said, I expect for them to be happy. I expect for them to be happy. I have no issue, no problem with them being happy. None whatsoever. But all I'm saying is, man, context. Like, context here. Like, let's put this thing in context. Why are we, like, man, somebody give me an unbucks related question here. I refuse to keep answering questions. Let's talk about the Saints. They're good, cheaper options. There wasn't starters. Most backups aren't built to be starters. I'm glad they're on the team, but the defense was top notch because of Malcolm Brown, Hendrickson, and Rankins. I would eliminate Rankins on that. Malcolm Brown, I'm glad he's staying. Hendrickson, you have an argument, but a lot of those sacks came from the fact that Cam was getting double. So let's see what Trey can do when he getting double covered, when he getting chipped next season. You know, when he's the number one guy, when he is that dude. Gardner Minshew. I'll pass. Is Jenkins still good? The Vice could use him. Yeah, I think he's still good. Dude, Jenkins was balling, man. Jenkins was balling. Like, he still got a lot left in the tank. You know, it seemed like to me, like him and like a key to lead, a type of the type of guys that can always play in the league, because I mean there's such instinctive players. You know, key to lead decided to step down. You know, start dealing with injuries. Janoris Jenkins definitely can make some noise and do something for another team. He gonna find another spot and be a starter. I hate to see some of these players go, but I have 100% faith in the organization and the decisions they make. They have proven repeatedly they will make it happen. Yeah, pretty much, man. I trust the organization. And if you don't, I think you should. Without luck, we'll end up keeping Andrews Pete. Andrews Pete not going anywhere. They like Andrews Pete. I'm telling y'all, they like him. You know, and so there's something about organizations when they pick a guy in the first round. They try to force him to work. They try to make him work. They try to give him all different type of opportunities to knock it out the park. Knock it out the park seems to be the word of the day here, the phrase of the day. But anyway, don't be surprised if they end up extending Marcus Davenport. Like, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if they do that, because he is a first-round pick. Teams do that. We need to trade Michael Thomas. Wait a minute, Steven. Okay? Before I even finish the statement, it will cost the Saints $20 million if they were to trade that man to the Jags and get a top receiver we can afford. Look, I'm sorry, Steven, but they will lose $20 million. And even if they didn't, Michael Thomas is one of the best receivers in the league. Why would you do that? Because the guy got hurt for 1 year? Come on, man. The dude is worth the money. He's worth the money. He was worth the money when he was the number one receiver and the only receiver on his team. Don't try to throw the guy off the team because he had a little bit of bad luck last season. I don't want anybody like, man, all of a sudden you getting paid. No, nah, bro. Come on, man. Get that man the opportunity to redeem himself. Guy was hurt. It happens. Does the Saint fans, let me see. Does the Saint fan think they should have drafted Justin Jefferson? I think any LSU player that come across the I guess like the sheet or the pipe, you know what I'm saying? The pipe, you know, the Saints fans won, you know, so yeah, they did, you know. But I'm glad he ended up in Minnesota, man. And I'm glad he's doing a good job. I have no problem with that. I'm happy for the man. Could have been worse. Jerry could have been a Falcon fan. Yeah, it could have been worse. P can play like 4 positions and don't mind rotating. You know, I think that Andrews P can be used as trade bait because he can play left tackle. And Andrews P was a left tackle in college. That's what a lot of people tend to forget. So if the Saints wanted to use him at trade bait, they could. Because he can easily like slim down and end up playing left tackle and be serviceable doing it. I ain't gonna say he's gonna be elite or nothing like that, but he'll do a good job. Mike not going anywhere, not at all, not at all. I don't that's kind of funny that we even said that. Kim, thank you very much for the $5. Said I started watching this show in 2018 after we blew out the Eagles. I was nice and tipsy and stumbled into the show that night and been watching ever since. Kim, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And man, thank y'all so much. Been riding for the State of the Saints podcast that long. And we've been doing this since October of 2018. That's when the channel first came out, and now we're about 80 subscribers away from 6,000. That's crazy, man. We're about 80 subscribers away from 6,000. That's unbelievable. So, and then we had opportunity to, talk to some amazing people, man, some amazing guests on the show. Like, if you would have told me in October of 2018, I would have had opportunity to talk to people like Zach Streif and Jermaine Bushrod and, and have interviewed every Saints beat writer and, and reporter, or even NFL Steve Weiss, I would have been like, nah, you tripping. But we had opportunity to have those guys on the show, man. I'm grateful for that. And it is all because of you all, man. Liking, sharing the videos, subscribing to the channel. It's amazing, man. So I ain't done yet, man. I'm just getting reloaded. And now it's just, man, I'm just fired up, man. I'm just fired up because now we have like a year of uncertainty, man. So it's going to be interesting. Oh, Russell Wilson gone, man. He burnt that bridge with Pete Carroll, and that is a breakup, and Pete Carroll is not going to change his ways. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get that back. But the only teams out there that's still on this list is the Bears and the Saints. So if it's not the Saints, it's the Bears. He has a no trade clause in his contract. People need to chill with the Michael Thomas nonsense, please. Please stop saying to trade Michael Thomas because it's not happening. We're talking about cap space. That will $20 million. That would be $20 million against the cap. Saints already at about $20 million right now, 21. So you trade him, that'll be $40 million. I'm waiting for him to announce it, see if Jameis is staying or not. Well, you got to get the cap down in order for you to start renegotiating the contract. But I think if you extend contracts of Ramczyk and Lattimore, that'll help you out quite a bit, and maybe restructure a couple more guys, and that'll help you out. So we'll see. Saints fans like LSU players not because they are close to home, but because most become good elite NFL pros. That is true. That is true, in which I don't understand the concept. I don't understand the concept of going against LSU players. I don't understand it. Those guys are really good. They're really, really good. So if you have an opportunity to get them, why the heck not? Pete Carroll is stuck from 10 years ago and still think he can win that old way. Nope. Well, look, it's hard for a tiger to change his stripes, especially when they realize that way got them where they needed to be. Pete Carroll is a defensive-minded coach, always has been. And defense won them that championship. Honestly, defense would have won them that second championship, and I don't care what anybody says. I understand that we live in this world, we watch NFL football when it's all about flash and pizzazz and all that kind of stuff. But when it all comes down to it, how did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win a Super Bowl, right? They went to Leonard Fournette running a football, and they played good defense. So they ain't never going out of style. So I can agree with Pete Carroll on that, but there are going to have to come times where you're going to have to shoot it out. You know, you're going to have to shoot it out. You're going to have to go toe to toe, blow for blow. I'm talking Rocky Balboa, Apollo Creed, you know what I'm saying, tit for tat. And you're going to have to win some games. And, you know, and more often than not, that's what you had in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was out there scrambling for his life. He was extending plays, throwing the ball down the field with late game heroics. But I still believe that good defense and a good running game going to win you football games. It's going to help you in the long run. I never seen a team. Or very few teams I've seen just win a Super Bowl being offensive dominant and not having a formidable defense. I'm talking maybe top 10, top 15. Never seen that before. Okay. And if it is, it's probably very, 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 very rare. Running football and playing defense ain't never going out of style. I don't care what anybody says. As much as they love the ball being in the air, it all comes down to running the football, playing good defense. If you're switching to a new quarterback, why trade your elite wide receiver? Exactly. And, you know, you need that guy. You need that go-to guy. You need him. Do you think the Saints will restructure Armstead's contract or will they release him? They're not releasing Armstead. They will restructure his contract before that ever happened, J-Rock. So, no, he's not going anywhere. At worst, he'll get traded. At worst. And Pete Carroll is 70 years old. So, yeah, man. Well, I don't think his age has nothing to do with it. I mean, look, you got to be different. You got to dare to be different. But I still think running the football, playing good defense is something that ain't never going out of style. That's just the way I feel. You know, I feel like he's in the right direction, but you need a yang for the yin. You know, like you need somebody that's different. You know, like I think about you know, a defensive minded coach. You know, during a time like when Rex Ryan was with the Jets, he had Kyle Shanahan. You know, you had a offensive minded coach. You know, a defensive minded coach. You needed that. You know, you need guys like that. Even with you know, with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was a defensive-minded coach. Kyle Shanahan was an offensive-minded coach. You need that yang for your yin. And I don't think Pete Carroll put too much emphasis on the yin. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he puts emphasis on the yang. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to slice it or cut it up. So I think that's the issue that they deal with consistently, you know, in Seattle. You know, good defense, but stagnant offense. You know, you need an elite play caller in this modern day NFL. We can't get Russ, bro. I don't want to say they can't get him. I seen the Saints. Like, I didn't think the Saints could get Janoris Bird a couple of years ago, but they did. I mean, it was a disaster, but we didn't know that at the time. He was coming off a 9-interception season. Carl Granderson been showing potential with the Saints every year. I think this can be a breakout year for him. Wouldn't surprise me. Anytime I seen him in a game, he showed flashes. Sean Payton is pretty high on him. Talk about he liked his size and the way he was moving. You know, and I also like the fact that how when he went to the press conference, he was talking about playing on special teams and how he embraced that. So that just shows me that this kid's head is in the right place. You know, he's been through a lot. We all know his story. If you don't, I'm not going to talk about it here. You can go look it up. But he came to this team and, you know, he put his head in and, you know, and put his hard hat on and went to work. So he's embracing any role that the Saints give him, and he's appreciative of the opportunity. And, you know, I'm rooting for him. Dude, explain what you're talking about. You trade the player, you trade the contract. You wrong, man. Go look it up, man. Go look it up. I'm pretty sure I ain't wrong. But if you want to say that I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. You know, I'm wrong, man. You know, yeah, I'm wrong. You right. You trade the contract. You trade the contract with the player. You're absolutely right. But in this case, I'm not wrong. I'm telling you, $20 million, okay? And then you know, 20 million, the Saints will lose $20 million if they were to trade Michael Thomas. I guarantee it. No one named Kamara Thomas or Ramchick. Yep. I mean, I wouldn't trade neither one of them, but it'll be $20 million, Steven. At the very least, Taysom is the best backup in the league. His money makes sense. I agree with that. I don't think he's the best backup quarterback in the league, but he's the best football player in the league overall. And I said this on the last show. You can make an argument that he's not making enough money. All the roles that he plays. Jameis will show them anyway. Agreed, Steven. Change is good. Speaking facts, TJ, rookie receiver can go off. Terrence Marshall, yeah, it's T.O. We have a lot of depth, not worrying about losing T. All cap experts say there is no gain in cap by trading Thomas. Yeah. I mean, look, the thing about it is, and I explained it to her because we mentioning it. Okay, so here's the thing. Agents are really trying to fight for some of these players to make sure that they get some type of leverage. You know, teams don't want to put non-trade clauses inside of their contracts, right? They don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Some players are lucky enough to get it. Most of them are like cornerstone players, mostly your quarterbacks, some of your key players. So the next best alternative is for them to have, like, you know, because the player wants to know that the team is committed to them in the long run. So at the top or the beginning of a contract, they'll, you know what I'm saying, they'll put something there like, okay, you know, there'll be a cap penalty in place, a very high cap penalty, you know, that the player will be assured that the team won't trade him because the team is not willing to lose that amount of money. So Michael Thomas, if you were to trade him, it will cost $20 million. You know what I'm saying? Because of the contract that he signed and the commitment that the Saints have made to him to say that you are our guy. So, you know, that's like the next best thing, next best case scenario there. You know? So that's all I'm saying. You know, that's the reason why. I'd rather a Jefferson on a cheap, especially if they give an extra third-round pick for Thomas. You rather take oh, man. I don't know what you got against Michael Thomas. We also need a DN if Henderson doesn't come back. Well, I mean, you don't know what Carl Granderson gonna do. Give TJ his credibility. Come on, man. Well, look, my credibility is not based on with all due respect with Steven, you know. My credibility is not, you know, on the line when I'm having conversations like that. Like anybody that, you know, I don't want to drop no names, but everybody, you know what I'm saying, people know that we've had some very credible guests here on the show. And they have said this. You know, they have said that Michael Thomas, if he was to be traded, it would be about $20 million. Man, just go back and take a look. I ain't dropping no names or nothing like that because, you know, I ain't trying to be on no big league stuff. But we've had guests on this show and we talked about that. We talked about the salary cap. Would have came for the Raiders in the second quarter and threw for 300 plus yards without a game plan. What did Jameis do? Jameis didn't do too much of nothing, you know, in that game. But who did Mariota play against? That's what I want to know. Who they played against, Isaac? Who he played against? And Jameis Winston was going up against a Robert Saleh defense. And last time I checked, Robert Saleh is the new head coach of the New York Jets for a reason. And he's definitely one of the best defensive minds in football. So he had that defense playing on point. So I would like to know who Marcus Mariota was playing against. And if he was playing against a person that had some pretty good defense, then I apologize. Mariota was the weakest division with the Jaguars. Man, look, why are we talking about Mariota here? What is the likelihood of a Vaccaro Saints reunion? Very unlikely. I think the Saints okay at safety. Stock comparing the two, Jameis has more potential in arm strength, and arm talent. True. Mariota gotta be the next Matt Flynn. Get a big deal base of one game. Jay says, "What up, TJ? What's going on, man?" Zaven Collins from Tulsa. I would love that. That's my top choice. But I have to say, I gotta renege, man. The fact that Janoris Jenkins is gone, you might want to get yourself a cornerback. Boy, in here, been paying too much attention to national taking heed in Twitter when it comes to Mike T. Well, I don't know. I don't know, man. Some people have their opinions and stuff like that, but I'm not paying attention to that. Michael Thomas is a must for this team. They tripping. I feel the Saints will be just fine, and we need is above average quarterback, another good weak side linebacker, and another good corner. Well, yeah, we definitely need that. Corner is a must. Corner is so important. Corner to me is more important than a linebacker right now. So I'm interested to see what the Saints going to, replace Janoris Jenkins with. That is important, man. As much as teams throw the football, put the ball in the air, first round pick need to be a corner. Man. CD is already better than Vaccaro ever was in New Orleans. Well, Vaccaro first season he was pretty good. TJ asked these folks what they spoken to make them trade Mike. I don't know. J.C. Horn will help a lot out of South Carolina. Janoris is one of the biggest losers. I agree with that. Anytime you lose a above average cornerback in a pass happy league, tough. So I would have to switch, man. I know I said linebacker needs to be first, but cornerback needs to be first, followed by a linebacker. Why these Sucking Ears fans don't have their own podcast? Jared, I don't know. I mean, Real Talk Perez has a podcast. But the thing is, man, look, this podcast is good, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, I ain't trying to be bragful, boastful. This is a good podcast, man. Y'all don't know, man. It's hard for me to go back and watch myself. I actually enjoy the content. You know what I'm saying? I actually enjoy it. So it's a fun podcast to do. It's interactive. How many podcasts you can actually go to know for a fact that your comments more likely than not gonna get read? How many times you can do that? How many podcasts is gonna do that? So this bomb, man. Come on. I have no problem with it. But you got to bring it, man. You got to bring it. If you're going to put your comments down there, you got to bring it. Love this podcast, man. Talking about the Saints, so inspirational. I appreciate that, Jay. Thank you. But, look, this is an interactive podcast. Look, y'all know me. Unless you, way out of line, which, we try to keep it PG here because we have kids watching this show. So I don't like a lot of cursing. This is a family-friendly podcast. It's a podcast where everybody can enjoy. I don't care about rival teams infiltrating the group. I don't. Like I said, but like I said, you have to bring it though. Talk about your team. Talk your talk. Talk greasy. But you gotta come with it. But I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it. Not a lot. Yeah, and that's what this podcast is about. It's about being interactive. It's about giving people a voice. That's the best part of this podcast. It's not that's the best part of this podcast to me. Not the donations, not the not the follows, not the likes. It's giving people a voice. Because I've been in radio, man, going on for You know, like I said, I've been working at this radio station for 4 years, and I worked at other radio stations as well. And you have the guy under, on master control who control the pots, putting the levels up and down. People make phone calls. The host dominates the phone call as if he don't have 4 hours to do a show or 6 hours, wherever long you have it, and a person get lost in the sauce. So being this interactive is what this show is all about, and this is what I enjoy. So it's not many shows that are, don't do that. This podcast stole me away from the Pat McAfee. Well, look, Pat McAfee is the guy, man. He not only is he, to me, he could be the next NXT champion if he decides to be a full-time wrestler, but he's extremely animated and fun. He's a frat boy come to life. You know what I'm saying? Like on a podcast, and you can tell he's having a good time. He's enjoying himself. He's being his authentic self. Some of his guests out there, a little questionable, sketchy, but I like him, personally. And I think he's a fun guy. You can't fake the type of guy Pat McAfee is, and I can appreciate that. TJ, what do you think about Florida State's corner Asante Samuel Jr.? I think he's pretty good. I think he's raw. I think he has some room for improvement, but he can be what you what you need him to be in the right system. In the right system, he can be that guy. Facts, TJ, you're really that good. You're really the only guy I watch. No knock on other people, but you're from New Orleans, gotta support that. Man, they got some really good podcasts out there. I don't want to say, man, I'm the only one. I don't want to say that. I mean, shouts out to Big Q, shouts out to Deuce Winner. Shouts out to Nas, State of the Black and Gold podcast with Aaron. He does a good job, giving his commentary. Who That Nation chat line with CB, Pretty Carly and crew. They do a good job as well. I just, bro, I'm just passionate I'm just passionate about what I do. Period. I'm just passionate about what I do, man. I enjoy doing it. Do I feel like I'm one of the best? Yes, I do. When I'm on, I feel like, I'm extremely entertaining. I mean, look, I got to have confidence in myself, but, there's some great podcasts out there. And I came a long way. Like, go back and watch some of my earlier stuff. Go back and watch some of my earlier interviews. There's a lot of trial and error here, folks. A lot of trial and error. A lot of trial and error. That's why I tell people who start podcasts, don't give up. And sometimes, your first projects may not be the best thing. You got to tweak it sometimes, but don't stop until you reach your full potential. And it comes with a lot of research. And you're going to have to go back and listen to yourself, which I hate. I hate going back and listening to myself. TJ, you're one of the best doing this. For me to follow you for 3 years, that means a lot. Keep up the good work. And that's true, man. Like, for people to be following this podcast this long and supporting this long, it means a lot. Like, it means a great deal to me. I bet Drew Brees is coming back. I hope not. I don't like that energy, man. Take that. I don't like that energy, bro. Isaac says huge Saint fan, but a Hawaii boy first. Want to see a local boy come back and shake things up with the best offensive coach ever. Yeah, Marcus Mariota. Yeah, man. So I can understand why you're rooting for an Island boy. Nothing wrong with that. Jared says, State of the Saints podcast. TJ, see if you can get Big Q or the Who That Nation Chatline podcast on your show. Yeah, I you ain't saying nothing but a word. Ain't nothing but a phone call or a tweet. That's all that is. I could get them on the show, no doubt. That I'm very confident I can get both of those individuals on the show. They say he is retiring, which he should. TJ, I subscribe to the wrestling channel too. I appreciate that, man. The wrestling podcast. I'm gonna be real, man. Look, there's a lot going on in my life. You know what I'm saying right now. Not nothing bad, but last week, my wife and y'all know, man, because some of y'all probably heard the podcast. They were at the house when I was doing a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife be at work. Y'all know I work at night. Sometimes, I have to do, different things for the station. We're celebrating on Women's History Month. So I produce like all of the women's history content at the station. I conduct all the interviews at the station. So in the middle of that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I got to make sure that, this job comes first. This is my bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? Like, the podcast is growing to a point where I never call it a job, but it's to a point where, getting, compensated because of it. But, there's a lot of things that I do outside of doing this podcast, man. So I got to get back to the wrestling podcast. So much going on, man. So much going on, professional wrestling. I actually wanted to talk about, for my wrestling fans, I want to talk about AEW and the lack of explosion of the ring. Everybody's talking about that right now. People are talking about, WrestleMania. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about. And plus, I want to get my little nephew more involved with the show. I'm trying to build up, his confidence and being behind the camera too. He loves wrestling. And so I'm definitely going to get back into it once everything kind of settles down. And now I know I have to go home next week. Unfortunately, my uncle passed away on yesterday. So got to make a trip home to, make a trip to Vicksburg, Mississippi, where the funeral was going to be taking place. So a lot going on, man. But I'm definitely going to get some shows on and popping. Hey, TJ, did you see the video on Sean Taylor's brother? No, I didn't. I didn't see. What happened with that? TJ, is there any chance Saints draft Terrence Marshall? There's a strong chance. There's a strong chance they can draft him now. I still think we should have went with Patrick Queen. I agree. In last year's draft instead of Ruiz. I agree with that. He's underwhelming as a rookie last year. I feel like that had a lot to do with the fact that they have no OTAs and minicamp. Even though he was out of position, that too. McCoy is our center for the next 8 years. I disagree with that. I think they're about to switch places, Hakeem. I ain't trying to just, issue on everything you're saying here. But Patrick Queen was the first team all-rookie defensive team. Look, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. And I tried to make an argument for Zach Bond, but he really just made me look bad here. Defense team, him and DeMario can be in the likes of Levante David and Devin White. I agree, Akeem. I agree with the Patrick Queen part. Cesar Ruiz, I just feel like no OTAs, no minicamp. You play center most of your career, college career, high school. Kind of hard, So I think they're going to switch places. He's going to play much better. TJ nickname alert, Drip Bayless, a.k.a. Razor Sharp, a.k.a. Stephen A. Saints. Please don't put me in the category of neither one of those gentlemen, okay? No disrespect to Skip Bayless, but I'm not him, and I'm definitely not Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, to me, is a parody. He's a guy that has, just has embraced the fact that he is ESPN's rodeo clown, okay? And as far as Skip Bayless, Skip Bayless is one of the best to do it when it comes to research, but he basically is the world's greatest contrarian. I refuse to be any one of those guys. I don't think that I can ever be any of those guys. I would hate to look at myself in a mirror. They making a lot of money to do what they do. So I guess you can look at it that way, but I ain't losing my soul, man. If I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it on being who I am. I ain't trying to change for nobody, and I don't think anybody should. I think people should respect what a person does. If they come to you and they say, man, we want you to be a part of our program or a part of our show or a part of our team, they respect the hustle. They seeing what you're doing. So I can understand like certain tweaks here and there, but to completely transform yourself into something that is unrecognizable, can't roll with it. So one person, I'm looking at out there, but I don't try to be like anybody. I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate that. if I can be, you know what I'm saying, like, if that's a compliment, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate that, but I don't want to be like any one of those guys. Those guys are parodies to me. You know, I can't get down with that. I can't get down with the fakeness, man. I tell you all the time, I don't even do shows if I ain't feeling it. I'll never get behind his mic. You know, I never get behind this mic or this camera and just give y'all fake shows, man, and just give y'all a bunch of nonsense. Remember, you promised me to split the money with me if this podcast ever took off. You said it to me in a dream one time. And TJ, you're a man so committed to your word, you don't even want to go back on it. Yeah, Josh, man, like, look, Josh been rolling with the State of the Saints podcast for a long time. Jerry has too, you know. They have believed in me, man, you know, and they've been supporting it. They seen these things come to fruition, man. So I appreciate them. S says I agree too. He just like his big brother. Sorry for your loss. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That one hurt. Like, that one hurt, like, to a point I didn't even realize. I ain't gonna lie, I shed a tear over that one. Mom called me yesterday morning. I was talking to my mom on my way home from work, like I normally do. Hung up the phone because, of course, you know, I get home, you know, want to, you know, spend a little time with my wife and stuff like that, talk to her before she goes off to work and Paxton goes off to daycare, get a phone call back and, you know, tell me he passed away. And, I mean, I knew he was sick and stuff like that. He had a stroke, I want to say about maybe like 5 years ago. And, you know, he's been going through the motions with that. But then he goes to the doctor, you know, during this snowstorm they had out there in Mississippi. And, you know, they found out, you know, that he had cancer that spread all throughout his body, man. And, yeah, man, that was, you know, they said there was nothing they can do for him, send him home. And unfortunately, he passed away, man. But that's my uncle. He's been in my life for a long time. When we were down in New Orleans, he was definitely one of the uncles that I used to go by his house, spend the night when I was younger. And, you know, he was always funny, you know what I'm saying? Always looked out for me. You know, anytime like I would, you know, pass by his home, used to spend like time with my cousin and stuff like that stayed with him. So, yeah, definitely going to miss him, man. Definitely going to miss him. You know, was a great person. You know, it was a joy to be around. He enjoyed his beer and he enjoyed his blues, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth, man. He enjoyed his beer and he enjoyed his blues, man. He enjoyed his moonshine, you know what I'm saying? Like, he enjoyed that too. Okay, so, but we love him, man. Rest in peace, Uncle Sherman. TJ, I'm really sorry. Nah, it's good, man. I mean, look, he ain't got to suffer no more, man, especially like when you're dealing with cancer and cancer spread throughout your body. I only can imagine how much pain he was in. So, you know, I mean, you got to deal with that pain no more, you know. You ain't got to deal with that no more. So, Stephen A. Smith dresses like he's wearing a white. Yeah, man, I kind of lost respect for Stephen A. Smith. You know, like, look, I know a lot of people, these aren't the most popular people in the world. You know, when I do name them, some people going to roll their eyes. But, look, check this out. I'm talking about Jamel Hill and Michael Smith. Of course, y'all know they worked on ESPN. They ended up quitting because, you know, personal reasons and stuff like that. Stephen A. Smith, he was asked a question and, you know, about them quitting. And he basically said something on the lines of, you know, sometimes you got to swallow your pride and, you know, take the money because you can use your platform for this, that, and the third. And if you can use it to elevate yourself. But I'm like, man, this dude up here, man, this boy here straight up sellout. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking about like a sellout as far as like, because I don't want this to be about race, but I'm talking about a sellout as far as like selling your soul. Like, I don't feel like you should have a price. I don't feel like you should have a price. If you feel like, I put it like this, man, if somebody comes to you and tells you that they want to give you $1 million for doing what you do, stay true to yourself, because if they're telling you they want to give you $1 million, you're probably worth about 10 million. That's just the truth, man. And I just feel like he just sells himself to the highest bidder, man. And I just didn't like that at all. And rather you like Jamel Hill and Michael Smith, I just feel like this, man. If they felt like it was the right decision for them and there was no amount of money that can change their mind, cool. Cool. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, you can't take it anymore at your job and there's not an amount of money that can change your mind, cool. It's not my job to stand up here and tell you to grin and bear it if you feel like you can't grin and bear it. I just felt like that was a sucker move to me, and it made me lose respect for him in that regard. And like I said, I mean, I know those people aren't popular, Like when it comes to Jamel Hill, sometimes I feel like some of the rhetoric, I like her, but sometimes I feel like it's just like hypocritical or whatever, Some of the things I seen back in the day, the energy is completely different, And Michael Smith, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got nothing to say about him personally, but regardless of that, man, they felt like they did the right thing in their eyes. It's not for you to change it. So, yeah. I'm sorry about your Uncle TJ. I hope you and your family are doing okay. Yeah, everybody's fine. My grandfather taking it pretty hard. My grandfather, that was his brother. That was his younger brother. As of right now, my grandfather had it was 11 of them total. My grandfather is the oldest living sibling. He had like maybe I want to say 4 that were older than him, and all 4 of them have passed away. So I want to say only 3 of them are still alive right now. All the rest of them have passed on, unfortunately. So no, 4 of them are still alive. So he's taking it pretty hard, though. I'll be ripping them. Thank you very much for the $2. Says I want to make sure you see what I just said. I'll be ripping them. I don't know exactly what you just said. I'll be ripping. Let me go back up. I wish you didn't have to donate. I don't want you to feel like you had to donate, but I appreciate that $2. He says, I'm a great character to send you condolences. Rest in peace to your Uncle Jones. My condolences. I got great respect for you and this podcast too. I'll be ripping them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your donation as well. Yeah, man. Yeah, tough stuff, man. Tough stuff. Never been a fan. He's just a character, very limited football knowledge, to say the least. Yeah, he got the hit, and he be having that little earpiece and listening hard. Be feeding that boy all type of information. Wrong names and all. Russell Wilson is always Russell Westbrook. Shoot. Like, come on, man. Like, what is you doing? This man up here talking about throwing a touchdown, talking about shooting threes. Like, what is you talking about, man? TJ, keep your head up. You make our day bright by doing this show. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. It all happens for a reason. They both doing great. Yeah. Michael Smith has a podcast show that Jamel Hill. I think she's doing something with Kerry Champion. He did not put 100 behind them. TJ, the truth with this, man, they need to watch his show and take notes from a real one. Keep it up, TJ. Look, anything that we've gotten here on the show, we've earned. I say we because y'all a key part of this show. We've earned this. We've earned, the opportunities to have great guests on this show. Just the fact that, Rashard Matthews, shouts out to him, man. Shouts out to Rashard, man. Hope you're doing all right. The fact that he would reach out and and even acknowledge this show. This shows you the type of work we put in. The fact that I can go to Saints writers and reporters and ask them to be on the show, and they willingly do it. With no hesitation. Like, we built this, and we're continuing to build this brick by brick, man. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm enjoying the ride, and I hope you are too. I hope you are too. Let's see. I didn't even plug the sponsor, but I'm not even gonna. Y'all know it's brought to you by Manscape. Go to manscape.com, search, for the products that they actually have. Use the promo code State of Saints. You'll save 20%. I'll read what they want me to read on another show. But I definitely forgot to do that. So, Shouts out to Manscape. Master P said it best. Facts. Michael Smith went to McDonald's 35, man. Yeah, shouts out to 35, you know, with them prison outfits. Y'all used to wear that khaki on khaki. As y'all out there looking like y'all in the prison yard. Already read that. Shouts out to y'all, be ripping. Thanks for breaking character for one day only. The man who definitely never breaks kayfabe. You know? I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. You know, if somebody would have said that around this time last year, I would have said God bless you. But I still have to say God bless you. And there's a place for a Cleveland Browns fan. Any lunch pail football team fan that comes here is always welcome here. Cleveland Browns fans got respect for you. Because the Cleveland Browns fans, to me, are like Saints fans. Like, they are passionate about their squad. They love their squad, good, bad, and indifferent. And Lord knows that they've been through some stuff. So definitely got a lot of respect for a Cleveland Browns fan. Thank you for being here, King and Lad. Feel free to stop by anytime. And shouts out to my homegirl, Brooke, man. Brooke, who's out there in Ohio, man. She's out there, man, doing her reporting thing. She's a Cleveland Browns fan, Cleveland everything, Ohio State fan. So shouts out to Brooke, man. Also, she has a great children's book out there right now, man. I actually got for Paxton. So shouts out to you, Brooke. Who that TJ, prayers for you and your family. He's in a better place in the upper room. The upper room where Jesus. Yeah, man, that's true. That's true. TJ, do you think we go linebacker or cornerback first? We're going cornerback. We're going cornerback because the cornerback is an important position. Cornerback is almost like a receiver at this point. You gotta have some good cornerback play. So yes. Would be hilarious if ESPN started secretly watching you and copying your style. All of a sudden, you see on ESPN, welcome, I'm Stephen A. Skip Bayless, the host of ESPN First Take. Well, if they do that, then, then they'll get a nice little cease and desist letter from me because the host is trademarked. The State of the Saints podcast is trademarked. SOTS is trademarked. This is trademark. So I think Skip Bayless just signed like a $35 million contract. So you gonna have to come up off some of that cheddar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't play around here, man. We trademark here. We call up the Federal Trade Commission and we pay that money. You know what I'm saying? Yes. The host is trademark. Definitely. When people are like, yeah, man, yeah, the host. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I like that. Get trademark. It's amazing how many things you like look at that's not trademarked, though. A lot of things people say that aren't trademarked. And if you like submit the trademark information, it'll tell you if it's been trademarked over the course of time. So you can trademark symbols. You can do something ridiculous with your fingers, and saying have somebody like illustrate it and send it in, and you can get a trademark. It's not very hard either, man. Like it's simple, and I encourage anybody, like if you have a bomb design or a logo, please get a trademark, man, because people will steal your stuff, man. If they look at they'll look at your stuff and be like, he ain't gonna do nothing with it. Next thing you know, you're seeing your stuff on TV, seeing somebody rocking your stuff. Wouldn't that be messed up? All because you didn't pay, $110 to get a trademark? It's worth it in the end, man. $110. And it depends. Like sometimes it can range between I think like $150. But if it's something as simple as like, the SOTS logo, and I tell y'all, man, we family. The reason why I changed it up from the original one, it was because the Saints, if you notice, the Saints logo was behind it. You know what I'm saying? Was behind it. Even though you really couldn't see it, and it said State of the Saints podcast, I was like, I don't want to even go that route. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I just changed it to the letters, you know what I'm saying, which is SOTS. And that's one of the main reasons why I was extremely skeptical about, you know, selling like the t-shirts and stuff like that consistently. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want Gail Benson to be coming at your boy and be like, man, I need my Skrilla. So the SOTS, I decided to go ahead and trademark that. So anything you have, I'm telling you folks, please trademark your stuff. Please do. Please trademark your stuff. Trade, you know what I'm saying? Trade, like, if you think that it's something like that you feel like is going to help you in the long run, it's going to, you know, elevate, you know what I'm saying? You think you're going to make a business out of it, please trademark your stuff. Like I said, man, $110 for the application fee, you know, like, and it's refundable. You know what I'm saying? If you submit that and it turns out that somebody actually have it, they'll send you your money back. So make that commitment, man. Please do. Don't sell yourself short. Don't be somewhere seeing your stuff on TV, somebody using your stuff and feel defenseless about it. Yeah, 110. You don't hear what I heard. Drew Brees needs to retire. His arm is not worth a diddly do. Get that trademark. Diddly do. If we land a quarterback in the draft, that will be some form of security if we are going to go with Winston. Yeah. Diddly do. I just start saying that diddly do. You don't want to use profanity, man. Diddly do. Somebody miss a pad. Diddly do, man. I'm sick of these division championship t-shirts collecting my drawer, man. I think we all are. My brother actually created the term ratchet as far as the street terminology, but now it's everywhere. He didn't take the necessary steps. Yeah, that's true. You know, that's like with Baby. You know, he said, you know, when the popular song Bling Bling came out, he said he didn't trademark the term bling bling. He said when the song came out, everybody started saying it, bling 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 bling, and he was like, man, I wish I would have trademarked it. Imagine how much money Baby would have got if he would have trademarked the term bling bling, but he didn't. I already read that. Let's read a few more, and then we'll get up out of here, folks. Thank y'all so much. That Bishop Bowinkle song ruined me. All I could think about during my work meeting was, hell no, to the no, no. Yeah, to the no, to the no, no.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
Real talk, TJ. I had a manager that was a producer in music and called his business 3G Music, but never got the trademark. A few months later, AT&T came out with the 3G network. Yep. Telling y'all, man. Damien, BG actually made that word, TJ. Yeah, but here's the thing. You got to think about it. BG made the album with what? Chopper City in the Ghetto, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was on the Chopper City album, right? If I'm not mistaken. So it was under Cash Money umbrella. The song was written and produced by Manny Fresh. The money was put up to create the song with the studio time by Baby. So technically, it would be Manny Fresh was the person that actually was supposed to get a trademark because he actually created the term, not BG. Okay, BG actually rapped on the song, but the hook itself was created by Manny Fresh. So Baby once again stealing people money. Wanted to steal people money, right? What a surprise. Yeah, man, trademark your stuff. But man, before I go, look, I hate to leave on such a sour tip, but I gotta say this. And I want everybody to feel me, and I don't want people to roll their eyes, but I want people to really feel me, because I feel like as a society, we don't listen to each other. I think we have our mind frames, going in a certain direction, and we don't want to listen to the opposition. What I want us to start doing is listening to one another. We don't have to agree. But let's respect a person's opinion. This is what I want to say to you. Okay. Now, people have been making a big deal about these compensatory picks. And for those that don't know what a compensatory pick is, it's basically like the NFL gives teams extra draft picks if you have a member of your front office or a member of your coaching staff, or you select a quarterback of color. So if you get a coach of color that leads your team, gets a promotion from another team. For example, Terry Fontenot was the assistant GM, and he goes and becomes the GM of the Falcons. That's a pick. I think they got a pick, if I'm not mistaken, from Jameis Winston or something like that. So if you do that, then you basically get a compensatory pick, because you lost a player. And if you hire somebody, you actually gain a pick. You know what I'm saying? So if you hire a person of color, your organization gains a pick. So this is how I feel, folks. I feel like, looking at that, to me, I feel like it tells us that we have a long way to go when it comes to equality in the National Football League. And some people look at this as like, okay, we making strides because, they're getting draft picks and people, they're getting hired. But I want people to really pay attention to this. It's not so much of them getting hired. It's almost like quid pro quo, so to speak. It's like tit for tat. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. So you're getting these African Americans opportunities, or these minority coaches opportunities, because you're getting something in return. That is what I have an issue with. Until we can move away from this. And look, it helps. Like, it will help the New Orleans Saints. It will help the New Orleans Saints, man, because we all see what they're losing, and to get an additional draft pick will help. But until you remove rules like this to be in place, until you remove this, then we're never going to get anywhere, because you really don't know, or you really don't, you really honestly don't know if these coaches will get the opportunity if they didn't have something that these organizations can get in return. Like, just imagine that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like just imagine. It's like, honestly, it's almost like affirmative action. Like some organizations, they have to interview, so many minorities or something like that a year in order for them not to, pay a fine. That's kind of like what this is. And I just feel like we should remove these type of things. And if we remove these incentives, then we can really see who is really trying to be a catalyst for change. Because these rules shouldn't even be in place, man. Like, we should have made strides to a point where these rules shouldn't even be in place. It should be the most qualified person. That's one of the reasons why, people, like, I don't be feeling like when people be like, man, it's the first black person to do this, the first black person to do that. And like, we'll get all happy and stuff like that. But I'm more excited when stuff like that becomes so normal that we don't even pay attention to race. We don't even pay attention to that. And that's the point and the steps and where I want to get to. That's what I want to get to. I wanted to get to a fact where it ain't even news anymore. So I feel like this rule shouldn't even be in place. Like, I feel like they just should remove it. You should remove it. and see who is really trying to be a catalyst for change. Give these coaches an opportunity, these owners, to show that if this rule wasn't in place, they wouldn't hire him, or if this rule wasn't in place, they would hire him. Like I said, I'm not trying to turn this into a race thing, because it's not to me. I just want people to fully understand this. Like, you should do kind things for people, to do kind things for people, not because somebody is going to give you an award at the end of it, not because somebody's going to give you some money, not because somebody's going to tell you how great you are, but because it's the right thing to do. I don't care what color you are. I think everybody can feel that. If you're helping, you see an elderly lady trying to walk across the street and you grab her hand, don't grab her hand because it makes you look like you're the greatest person or you looking like a Boy Scout. Do it because you're doing it out the kindness of your heart. So hire these coaches, bring these quarterbacks in that are minorities, bring them in because it's the right thing to do. Not so much that you're going to get something in return. Forget about self-preservation. You know what I'm saying? Forget about that. Stop looking out for yourself and start looking out for the greater good. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to, like I said, once again, I'm not trying to make this about black or white, because y'all know, I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? I do. I love everybody. I got respect for everybody. I don't care if somebody's telling me something that I feel like I don't too much agree with. I will respect your ability to say it. And I feel like that is a lost art in this world. And we have to be very, very careful. We are coming on a time where if a person doesn't have the same political views as us, doesn't share the same idealisms as us, the ideologies as us, we just completely dismiss them. And we're missing out on getting to know some great people. And I just feel like that rule shouldn't even be in place. And until that rule is no longer in place, I feel like the NFL is still going to be, where they are right now, trying to figure it out. So I never be impressed with that, but I'm glad you touched on that, because I don't feel like I'm in a boat by myself. Yeah, like I said, I just want people to feel that. Like I said, look, some people might roll their eyes, but honestly, I really don't care. I really don't care, man. If you're at the point where a person can talk about these issues without you rolling your eyes or walking off or even trying to put it into perspective, then you got some work to do, man, because there's some things going on right now. You know what I'm saying? And there are some things that are being overblown. You know what I'm saying? The media is just trying to get their money. They do try to rock the boat. They do try to create some of these things to divide us. I will agree with that. But there are some things that are going on in this world that is worth paying attention to. And we can't always just make things about ourselves and put ourselves in this position. And anybody that don't feel what I'm saying, I want you to feel me on this. Anybody that went through Hurricane Katrina, you know what I'm talking about. You had people out here that wasn't very sympathetic to some of the things that we went through, losing our family members, losing our home, losing our clothes, losing everything that we have. And people kind of just watched the TV as if we was like in a third world country, but we were actually going through these things. Now, just imagine that and put that in, into perspective when it comes about some of these social issues. Imagine somebody, you just turning your eyes and turning your head on somebody that actually is feeling this way. I feel like you should give them an opportunity to express themselves. And you should be able to express yourself, and there should be some dialogue. And if you can't come to an agreement, just agree to disagree, but don't lose that friendship. Don't lose that relationship. Don't let one argument define a person that you've known your entire life. So I just had to say that. I just had to say that, man. And I like I said, I just want everybody to understand where I'm coming from. Don't have to agree, but I had to say that. As an African American man, anybody that's a minority, I think, I had somebody from the islands on here, even if you're not an African American or a minority, that, you know, it should be normal. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like huge news and the world stops because a minority gets signed. Until we come to a point where this is no longer news, still gonna have some work to do. And I'm just gonna leave it on that note. But thank y'all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I really do appreciate your time. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, and previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. And the State of the Saints podcast is brought to you once again by Manscape.com. Go to Manscape.com for all of your grooming needs. And you can save 20% by using the promo code State of Saints. That's all one word, State of Saints. You will save 20% no matter how much you spend at Manscape.com. All right. Thank y'all so much. Much love to you all. Hope I put some on a few people's mind, rather it's New Orleans Saints, rather it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, rather it's Cleveland Browns, or anything else we talked about today. You all have a great and productive day. Much love to you. Pray for your strength and love. You know, keep your family close. Call your family members, man. Hug your kids. You know what I'm saying? Life is short. Y'all take care. Till next time, all I got to say is,